Heart is the reservoir of happiness, and relationships with all relatives take this happiness from our life, especially when the relatives have some difficulties. If one is in trouble, all the relatives suffer and share their happiness with him. But if each one of them starts to have relationships with God, then sufferings are over. Because suffering only means lack of happiness. People often are misers. They do not know that they must just pray instead of suffering. When the person prays, he establishes relationships with the source of happiness. He feels with happiness all his environment. And there are three phases. For example, what suffering do you choose? Raise your hands, those who suffer. Relatives of yours suffer alcoholism. You pick this. You pray. The first stage is you become calm about your alcoholic relative. That means that you have strength to overcome his fate. You are calm, you know that everything is going to be fine with him. It will all resolve. The second stage, energy of happiness flows between you. Your relative receives happiness, he is filled with it. Drinking means lack of happiness. Energy of happiness flows to your relative, and the next stage, he feels that it is easier to live. And in that moment, also his conscience is awakened, and he realizes that drinking is not so great. First he feels happy, and then he receives knowledge. It is always like this with energy of God, with happiness. First there is happiness and calmness. Your relative is calm. It does not feel like happiness first because of alcoholism. It is just easier for him to live. And then knowledge comes and the person starts to consider the way he lives. That's conscious. And then there is suffering. He wants to live differently, but he cannot. Then he changes, and finally victory. And it all can be done because you pray and you transmit the energy of happiness. Prayer is always connection. Here is an example. Well, let's say the newly wedded. Please turn to your wife and tell her quickly, fast. Concentrate on the sound and just say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Listen to your voice. I love you, I love you. Do it. Concentrate on the sound, listen to your words attentively. Did you get it? The wife? Not so much. Now, remember her in your heart. Do not look at her. And remember the first time you met. Now, turn to her and say one time, I love you. First you remember the first time you met. Do not rush. Now, look at her and say, did you feel it? Yes, you see, she turned red. I feel that she got this loving feeling. I love you. That is feeling. You say with feeling. That means that it comes from the heart. A feeling comes from memory, and it comes from God. Why did they feel so well when they first met? Because God joined them. And when the person remembers it, then he can put into words. First we remember relationships, and when we say, that is prayer. You do not just babble, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. That's useless. You must remember. You must remember how you visited a holy place. You must remember your mentor. You must remember an icon that made you happy. You must remember spiritual, inspiring music. You must remember spiritual festivals, holidays, anything that's connected to your relationships with God. And then you pray, and it gives connection to God, not simple babbling. It only works when you remember and then you say. You remember and you say. Like that. Do not rush. And when there is connection, the root receives water and the whole tree is fed, and you become a guardian angel for all people around you. This is it. Lecture on relationships is over. We can go home. I told you the most important thing. Well, okay, let's go on. You need some explanations. There are inner relationships with this world. They come from heart and God. If a person does not pray, there are no relationships. Close your eyes now. Remember your close person. It must happen fast. Open your eyes. There are three options. The first, you have negative memories. That means bad relationships. There are some bad feelings in your hearts. There is much work to be done and you suffer. The second option is bright, clear memory, and that means you have relationships and love. The third option, you remember nothing. You try to, so there are no relationships in your hearts. It is all just external, some enjoyment, some pleasure, many things, but your hearts are empty. And that means there are no relationships. Empty, useless life, and then bitter tears when he is gone. Or, as an option, just emptiness. So, external relationships depend on the inner. If there are no inner, external relationships make no sense. For example, you are trying to get a job. You saw people there. You come back home, pray for them and wish them happiness. Go back there, smile with memories of wishing happiness, and you will at once be welcomed there from the first day of work. Share your smile, and it will come back to you many, many times. And then, for sure, the clouds will start to dance. Is it so? Smile means what comes from the heart, and there must be something in your heart to give it.